I escaped on a train. She hired me as her fake girlfriend until darkness fell. The train whistle pierced the pre-dawn hush like a scream held too long, rattling my bones as I stumbled onto the platform in Omaha, Nebraska. My heart hammered against my ribs, each beat a frantic Morse code. Run, run, don't look back. I'd grabbed what I could in the dead of night, a backpack stuffed with jeans, a laptop scarred from too many late-night stories, and the last of my freelance pay in crumpled 20s. Behind me, in the shadows of that crumbling apartment in Lincoln, my ex's rage still echoed, her fists a storm I'd finally outrun. But freedom tasted like rust in my mouth, sharp and metallic, mixed with the diesel fumes curling from the locomotive ahead. I was Ellie Harper, 25, a journalist chasing truths no one wanted printed, small-town scandals, women's shelters overflowing with secrets. Last night, after she shattered the mirror with my reflection in it, I decided my next byline would be survival. The ticket booth light flickered like a dying firefly as I slapped down cash for the first eastbound train. No destination, just away. The conductor, a grizzled man with coffee breath and a nod that said he'd seen ghosts like me before, punched my ticket without questions. "Chicago by noon if the tracks hold," he muttered, his voice gravel over the rumble. I boarded the last car, economy class, where the seats sagged like old regrets. The air smelled of stale peanuts and rain-soaked coats. I slid into a window seat, pressing my forehead against the cool glass, watching the platform blur as the train lurched forward. My breath fogged the pain in shallow bursts, each exhale a sigh that carried the weight of bruises hidden under my hoodie. Why Chicago? Why not? It was big, anonymous, a city that swallowed stories whole. But deep down, I knew it was the illusion of motion that pulled me. Steel wheels on iron rails, carrying me from her venomous whispers. "You're nothing without me, Ellie. Nothing." The car was half empty, a scattering of souls like me. A salesman nursing a thermos, headphones blasting country twang. An old woman knitting what looked like a shroud, her needles clicking like impatient teeth. Then she entered, striding down the aisle with the confidence of someone who owned the tracks. Mid-20s? No, closer to 28, with a sleek black bob that framed her sharp jawline, dressed in a blazer that screamed boardrooms and venture capital. She was the kind of beautiful that turned heads, olive skin, brown eyes like polished mahogany, carrying a leather tote that probably cost more than my rent. Her gaze swept the car, landing on the empty seat beside me. "Mind if I join?" Her voice was smooth, laced with a faint East Coast clip, maybe New York via boarding school. I shook my head, too numb to speak, and she settled in, crossing her legs with a rustle of silk stockings. The train picked up speed, the Midwest flats unspooling outside like a faded postcard. Cornfields bending in the wind, silos standing sentinel under a sky bruising purple to pink. "I'm Lena Vasquez," she said after a beat, extending a hand manicured but not fussy. Her grip was firm, warm, pulling me from my fog. "Vasquez Tech. You. Ellie. Freelance. Writer." The word felt flimsy like tissue paper in a gale. She nodded as if that explained the shadows under my eyes, the way I clutched my backpack like a shield. We fell into that awkward train silence, broken only by the rhythmic clack-clack of wheels, the distant hum of the engine like a lullaby for the damned. But Lena wasn't one for quiet. She pulled out a tablet, scrolling emails with a frown that creased her forehead just so. "Heading to Chicago for business," she volunteered. "Family reunion, actually. The kind where everyone pretends the wine's the only thing souring." I managed a half-smile, the first crack in my armor. "Sounds fun." "It's a nightmare." She leaned closer, her perfume a subtle citrus wave, cutting through the car's musty air. "My parents, old money from the Upper East Side, now retired in the Gold Coast, insist on tradition. The whole settle down, give us grandkids routine. I'm the golden child CEO, but apparently, that's not enough without a plus one." The confession hung there, casual as the sway of the train. I glanced at her ringless hand, the way her fingers tapped an anxious rhythm on her knee. "So you're single?" "Very." A wry twist to her lips, eyes meeting mine with a spark that made my pulse stutter. "Hence the ad I posted last week. Fake girlfriend for hire. Pays $5,000 for the weekend. No strings, just smiles and small talk. My laugh escaped before I could cage it, sharp, disbelieving. You're kidding. Wish I was. She pulled up her phone, showing the discreet Craigslist post. Actress/model sought for family event. Convincing chemistry a must. Compensation generous. Comments blurred below, flakes and weirdos. Last one bailed at O'Hare. You're my Hail Mary. The train jolted over a switch, and I gripped the armrest, the world tilting. $5,000. Enough for a deposit on a new life. A buffer against the calls I knew she'd make. My ex tracing my steps like a bloodhound. But fake? Pretend affection with this stranger who smelled like success and secrets? My skin prickled, a mix of fear and something electric, forbidden. Why me? I whispered, the dawn light now gilding the horizon, painting her face in soft amber. She studied me, head tilted, as if reading the fine print of my soul. You look like you've got stories. And right now, so do I. Deal. The whistle blew again, long and mournful, as the sun crested fully, bathing the car in reluctant warmth. I nodded, the words slipping out like a key turning in a lock. Deal. What I didn't know then, as the fields gave way to suburbs and her hand brushed mine in accidental promise, was how thin the line between fake and fatal really was. Or that the darkness waiting in Chicago wasn't just metaphorical. It lurked in the rearview of my past, hungry and unrelenting. We talked then, words tumbling like gravel under tires. Lena spilled about her empire. A startup app revolutionizing remote therapy, born from her own battles with anxiety after her sister's overdose 2 years back. I code calm into algorithms, she said, voice softening. But my family's chaos? Unfixable. Her laugh was brittle, like autumn leaves crunching underfoot, and I caught the flicker in her eyes, vulnerability masked as poise. I shared scraps. The journalism gigs that paid in clips, not cash. The ex who started as muse and ended as monster, her jealousy a slow poison that turned love to ash. She checked my phone at night, I admitted, voice low as the train's underbelly groaned. Said my words belonged to her first. Lena's hand hovered near mine, not touching, but close enough to feel the heat. The air between us thickened, charged like the static before a storm. By mid-morning the landscape shifted. Chicago's skyline teasing on the horizon, steel spires piercing the clouds like defiant fingers. Lena ordered coffees from the snack car, black and steaming, the bitterness grounding me. Ground rules, she said, passing me the cup, our fingers grazing in a spark that lingered. Hold hands in public. Laugh at my aunt's jokes. Steal glances like we're smitten. And if they ask about us, we met at a tech conference. Sparks flew over bad Wi-Fi. I sipped, the heat scalding my tongue, mirroring the flush creeping up my neck. And after? We ghost. Her eyes held mine, steady as the tracks. After you walk away $5,000 richer. Free. Free. The word echoed hollow. As the train braked into Union Station, the platform a swarm of suits and shouts, I wondered if freedom was a station or just another track leading nowhere. Lena stood, offering her hand, real this time, and I took it, stepping into the charade. Little did I know, the script was already rewriting itself page by stolen page. The station hit like a fever dream. Echoing announcements in tinny voices, the crush of travelers dragging roller bags like reluctant shadows. Lena navigated it with ease, her arm looping mine possessively, guiding me through the throng. Her touch was light but sure, sending unwelcome ripples through me. Warmth I hadn't felt since before the bruises. Smile, she murmured, lips brushing my ear, her breath a minty whisper. We're in love, remember? I forced a grin, heart skittering as we emerged into the cab line. The city air slapped me. Concrete and hot dog vendors, the distant honk of taxis like impatient geese. A yellow cab pulled up and Lena slid in first, pulling me after. Our thighs pressed together in the back seat, the leather sticky under the October sun. The Drake, she told the driver, an older guy with a mustache like a broom bristle. As we merged into traffic, Lake Michigan's vast blue winking between buildings, she squeezed my hand. You're a natural. Lies all of it, But her palm against mine felt like anchor in a squall, steadying the churn in my gut. My phone buzzed in my pocket, unknown number, but I knew. Her. The ex. I silenced it, shoving the device deep, but the vibration lingered like a phantom limb. The Drake Hotel loomed like old Hollywood glamour, doormen in crisp uniforms waving us through marble halls that smelled of polished oak and fresh lilies. Lena checked us into a suite, 2 bedrooms, she assured. For propriety, the clerk's eyebrow arching just enough to make me flush. Up in the elevator, mirrored walls reflecting our tangled reflections, she leaned against the rail, exhaling slow. First events tonight. Cocktail hour with the cousins. You ready? No. God no. But I nodded, the doors dinging open to a room straight out of a catalog. King bed swathed in white, a balcony overlooking the lake's endless ripple. She tossed her toad on the chaise, kicking off heels with a groan that was pure relief. Shower first. Make yourself at home. I unpacked minimally. Jeans on the chair, laptop charging like a talisman, then paced to the window. Chicago sprawled below, a beast of glass and grit, the wind off the water carrying faint cries of gulls. How far was far enough? A continent? A lifetime? Lena emerged from the bath in a robe, hair damp and curling, skin glowing from steam. She caught me staring, and for a beat the air hummed. What? She asked, toweling her neck, droplets tracing paths I shouldn't notice. Nothing. Just, this feels surreal. My voice cracked, betraying the raw edge. She stepped closer, robe whispering against the carpet. Hey, it's pretend, Ellie. Harmless. But her eyes said otherwise, dark pools reflecting my own uncertainty. Her hand lifted, tucking a stray auburn lock behind my ear, thumb grazing my cheek. Time stretched, the touch lingering electric. Then she pulled back, clearing her throat. Outfits in the closet. Something borrowed, don't say no. The dress was emerald silk, hugging curves I usually hid in hoodies. Slipping it on, I felt exposed, vulnerable, like stepping on stage without lines. Lena zipped me up, her fingers cool on my spine, breath warm at my nape. Perfect, she murmured, and I swear her voice dipped husky. Down in the ballroom that evening, crystal chandeliers dripped light like molten gold, the room buzzing with laughter and clinking stems. Her family descended. Aunt Viv in pearls and perfume that choked, Uncle Ted with Scotch breath and backslaps too hard. So Lena's mystery girl. Viv cooed, air kissing my cheeks. Tell us everything. Lena's arm snaked my waist, pulling me close. Ellie and I met at South by Southwest last spring. She was moderating a panel on digital ethics. I couldn't look away. Her fingers traced lazy circles on my hip, sending shivers I prayed no one saw. I leaned into her, playing the part, my laugh light as we spun tales of stolen kisses in Austin heat. But under the glamour, cracks showed. A cousin's sly glance, whispers behind fans. Vasquez women don't do casual. Lena's grip tightened, nails digging crescent moons into my skin. A silent plea. Midway through, as jazz swelled from the bandstand, she tugged me to the dance floor. Save me, she whispered, body swaying to saxophone size. Our chests brushed, her heartbeat a drum against mine. The room spun, waltzing shadows, the scent of her citrus mingling with my vanilla soap. You're good at this, I breathed, forehead to hers, the world narrowing to her warmth. Only with you. The words slipped unplanned, hanging heavy. Her eyes searched mine, vulnerable, and for a moment the fake dissolved. Desire flickered, raw and real, my pulse roaring like the L train outside. Then her phone buzzed, mine too, insistent. She ignored hers, I couldn't. Stepping back, I checked. A text from unknown. Found you, baby. Train was cute. Drake next. Ice flooded my veins, the room tilting. My ex had tracked me. How? The card I swiped at the station? Panic clawed up my throat, breath coming in gasps. Ellie. Lena's voice cut through, hand on my arm. What's wrong? I shook my head, forcing a smile that cracked. Nothing. Old ghost. But as we rejoined the party, her family toasting to futures bright, I felt the shadows lengthening. The charade was cracking, and the darkness? It wasn't falling yet, but it was coming fast as a midnight freight. The afterglow of the cocktail hour clung like cigarette smoke as Lena and I slipped back to the suite. The elevators hum a deceptive lullaby. My phone burned in my pocket, that text a venomous splinter I couldn't pull. We'd laughed through dessert, cheesecake rich as sin, forks clinking like conspiracies, but my smiles had grown brittle edges fraying. Lena noticed, of course, her glances sharpened, concern etching lines around her mouth as we rode up in silence, the mirrored walls multiplying our tension. The door clicked shut behind us, and she kicked off her heels again, padding to the minibar in stocking feet. "Bourbon," she offered, holding up a tumbler, ice cubes rattling like loose teeth. "God, yes." I sank onto the couch, dress pooling around me like spilled ink, the silk suddenly suffocating. She poured double for both, handing me the glass with a brush of fingers that lingered. We clinked, the amber liquid sloshing, and I downed half in one burn, the oak warmth spreading fire through my chest. "Talk to me." She curled up opposite, legs tucked under, robe from earlier swapped for loungewear, soft gray tee and shorts that rode up her thighs. The city lights twinkled beyond the balcony doors, a distant siren wailing like a warning. I stared into the bourbon, swirling it, the ice melting slow tears. That text. It's her. My ex. She's obsessive. Tracked the train somehow. Probably hacked my bank app or sweet-talked the ticket guy. She's in Chicago now, I can feel it. Lena's face hardened, jaw clenching. Jesus, Ellie. That's stalking. You need to report it? Change my name. I laughed, bitter as the drink. I've tried. Cops in Lincoln called it drama between lovers. She has money connections. And me? I'm just the girl who writes about other people's hells. My voice broke, a sob hitching, and I pressed the glass to my forehead, cold against fevered skin. She slid closer, tentative, her knee bumping mine. "Hey, you're not just anything." Her hand covered my free one, thumb stroking the knuckles, gentle as rain on parched earth. "You're here. With me. And that's something." The touch ignited, a spark in dry tinder. I looked up, her eyes soft in the lamplight, lashes casting shadows like secrets. The air thickened, charged with unsaid things. The fake role we'd scripted now blurring into improv. "Lena, this gig. It's more than I bargained for. You make it feel real." She finished, voice a whisper, leaning in. Our breaths mingled, bourbon sweet and time suspended, the world outside fading to a hum. Her lips parted, question in her gaze, and I closed the gap, kissing her soft, hesitant. It was like falling into warm water, her mouth yielding, tasting of spice and surprise. Her hand cupped my neck, pulling me deeper, a sigh escaping her that vibrated through me. Heat bloomed low, fingers tangling in her hair. The kiss turning urgent, tongues tentative dances. But then reality crashed. My phone buzzed again, insistent, shattering the spell. I pulled back, gasping, cheeks aflame. "Shit. I'm sorry. That's not. Don't." She touched my lips, silencing. It was nice. More than. Her smile was shy, cheeks pink, but her eyes held storm clouds. "But your ex? We handle that tomorrow. Police restraining order. Whatever it takes." I nodded, throat tight, but as I retreated to my room, stripping the dress like shedding skin, doubt coiled. Nice? It was wildfire, consuming the lines we'd drawn. Lying in the vast bed, sheets cool as doubt, I listened to the city breathe, horns bleeding, wind rattling the panes. Sleep came fitful, dreams of trains derailing into black water, Lena's hand slipping from mine. Morning broke gray, rain pattering the balcony like impatient fingers. Coffee brewed strong in the French press, its bitter steam curling as Lena joined me at the table, hair tousled from sleep, in yoga pants and a tank that hugged her frame. "Morning after," she quipped, pouring mugs, but her eyes searched mine, probing the awkward dawn. "Yeah." I stirred in cream, watching it swirl like guilt. "About last night. Water under the bridge." She sat, Legs brushing mine under the table, casual but not. Or tracks. Whatever. Her laugh was forced, but then she sobered. Seriously though. Your ex. Let's get ahead of it. We spent the morning at a precinct downtown. The detective, a weary woman with coffee stains on her blouse and a voice like worn velvet. Stalking serious, she said, taking my statement, the pen scratching paper like claws. I recounted the texts, the bruises fading to yellow ghosts on my arms. Lena sat beside, hand on my knee, a silent ally. We'll issue a no contact, the cop promised, but her eyes said the system sieve let too much through. Back at the hotel, lunch was room service. Club sandwiches with fries crisp as autumn leaves, eaten on the balcony under a drizzle that misted our skin. Lena's family event loomed. A yacht brunch on the lake, her parents hosting with the subtlety of a press release. They'll grill you, she warned, popping a cherry tomato juice bursting tart on her tongue. Origins, intentions. Smile and deflect. I nodded, but my phone stayed dark. No more texts, a temporary mercy. As we dressed, me in a sundress borrowed, floral and flowing. Her in linen slacks and blouse crisp as new bills. The air hummed with last night's echo. In the mirror, applying lipstick, our eyes met. A charged glance that made my stomach flip. The yacht was opulence afloat. Teak decks gleaming, champagne flutes fizzing like fireworks. Her parents greeted us. Mr. Vasquez tall and silver-haired, handshake firm as contracts. Mrs. Vasquez elegant in Chanel, her hug scented with Chanel No. 5, eyes appraising. Darling, Ellie's a vision, she cooed, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. Tell me, dear, what do you do? Journalism, I said, Lena's arm around my waist, anchoring. Investigative pieces, mostly women's issues. Pause, then approval flickered. Noble. Lena needs grounding like that. Over mimosas and quiche flaky with butter, they probed. How'd you meet? Future plans? Lena fielded with charm, her hand finding mine under the table, interlacing fingers in a grip that felt possessive, real. The lake chopped gentle, spray cool on our faces, gulls wheeling overhead with cries sharp as warnings. Midway, as sails billowed white against slate skies, Lena pulled me to the rail. You're killing it, she murmured, wind whipping her hair. They love you. They're terrifying. I leaned into her, shoulder to shoulder, the yacht's rock a cradle. Your mom's got radar for fakes. She turned, face inches from mine, rain beating on her lashes. Maybe it's not all fake. Her voice was low, earnest, and before I could breathe she kissed me, soft, open, the world narrowing to salt spray and her taste mimosa sweet. A throat cleared behind us. Cousin Marco smirking. Get a room, you two. Laughter rippled, but Lena didn't pull away fast, her eyes locking mine with promise. That afternoon blurred into shopping on Michigan Avenue. Lena insisting on a gift. A leather journal embossed with my initials, its pages crisp and waiting. For your stories, she said in the boutique. Mirrors multiplying our closeness. My phone buzzed then, unknown again. Enjoy the yacht? Saw you kiss her. Slut. Attached. A blurry photo from the deck, time-stamped an hour ago. Nausea roiled, the boutique spinning. Lena caught my pallor. Her. I nodded, handing over the phone, hands trembling. She scanned it, face thunderous. This ends now. Calling the detective, pacing the marble floor, her voice steel. Escalation. Send a unit. By evening, as rain lashed the windows, a patrol car idled below. No arrest, but a warning issued. Relief washed me, tentative, as Lena drew a bath, bubbles foaming like sea foam. Soak, she ordered, lighting candles that flickered shadows on the tile. I'll guard the door. The water enveloped, hot and soothing, steam rising like prayers. But as I sank, her silhouette in the doorway tugged at me. Join me. Slipped out, bold, unscripted. She hesitated, then shed her clothes, slipping in opposite, knees bumping. The tub was vast, but we gravitated close, water sloshing soft. Her foot traced my calf under suds, tentative, and I caught her hand, pulling her nearer. Lips met again, slower this time, exploratory. Kisses trailing jaw, neck size mingling with steam. You're shaking, she whispered, hands framing my face. Fear. Want. Truth bear. We moved to the bed then, towels discarded, bodies tangling in sheets like vines. Her touch was reverent, mapping scars with lips, eliciting gasps that echoed off walls. The rain drummed a rhythm urgent as we crested together. Waves crashing, breaths ragged, the fake long forgotten in sweat-slicked release. After curled against her, heartbeat sinking to the storm's fade, I whispered, "What now?" She kissed my temple, voice sleep-thick. Now? We rewrite the ending. But outside, tires crunched gravel. A car idling too long in the lot below. Darkness hadn't fallen fully, but its fingers crept, cold and insistent. Sunrise painted the suite in hesitant pinks, filtering through half-drawn curtains like apologies for the night before. I woke tangled in Lena's arms, her breath steady against my neck, the scent of her, citrus and us, lingering on the pillows. For a stolen moment it was bliss. No trains, no texts, just the soft rise-fall of her chest, an anchor in the drift. But reality intruded, gentle as the coffee maker's beep, pulling me under. I slipped free, padding to the kitchenette in her oversized tee, the hem brushing thighs still humming from dawn touches. Coffee brewed, dark and bold as I scrolled news on my phone, headlines of city grit, none mine. No new messages. A fragile piece. Lena stirred, murmuring my name like a secret, and joined me, hair wild, eyes sleepy warm. Morning, gorgeous. We breakfasted on the balcony. Croissants flaking buttery, fruit tart with juice that dripped sticky fingers. The lake shimmered below, sailboats dotting like whitecaps on blue. The air crisp with fall's edge. Today's low-key, she said, licking preserves from her thumb, a move that distracted wickedly. Gallery opening downtown. My sister's exhibit, photography. You'll like her. Alex. She's the artist in the family. Sister. The word landed soft, but stirred curiosity. Tell me about her. Lena's smile softened, wistful. Wild child. Came out at 16, broke mom's heart, then mended it with talent. Her shots? Raw. Women in light and shadow, unspoken stories. She paused, forked midway. Like you. Heat flushed my cheeks, not from the sun. Flatterer. Truth teller. Her foot nudged mine under the table, playful, but her gaze held deeper. Affection blooming unchecked. We dressed casual. Me in jeans and her borrowed blouse, soft chambray. Her in chinos and a tee that clung just right. The cab ride downtown buzzed with chatter, her hand in mine, thumbs tracing absent patterns, the city unfolding in honks and neon blur. The gallery was a converted warehouse in Wicker Park, exposed brick and track lights casting drama on white walls. Alex greeted us at the door, tall, androgynous with cropped platinum hair and tattoos snaking arms like vines. Mid-30s? No, late 20s, eyes sharp as her lens. Lena. And? Hug for her sister, then a praising look my way. Ellie, I supplied, handshake firm. Fan already. Alex grinned, crooked. Good. My work's for fans who feel it. She led us through the exhibit, a labyrinth of black and white prints. Women mid-laugh, tears streaking, embraces fierce under street lamps. One stopped me cold. A couple on a fire escape, kissing desperate against rain-slick rails, shadows pooling like ink. That's us post-breakup, Alex said, sidling up. Love's messiest in monochrome. Lena's arm slipped my waist, possessive. Ellie's a writer. She'd get it. We wandered, champagne flutes cool in palms, bubbles fizzing on tongues. Conversations flowed, artists in berets debating light, collectors with checkbooks fat as egos. But Alex pulled us aside to a back room, cluttered with darkroom sinks and prints drying like ghosts. Spill, she demanded, perching on a stool, cigarette unlit between fingers. Lena's glowing. What's the story? Lena tensed, but I jumped in, weaving our South by Southwest tale with embellishments, late-night panels, whiskey shots, a kiss under Texas stars. Alex listened, head tilted, then laughed. Bullshit but cute. Sis, you needed this. Mom's been hounding you since the merger. Lena's laugh was tight. Always. But her hand squeezed mine, grateful. As dusk crept, the crowd thinned, leaving echoes of heels on concrete. Alex poured bootleg wine from a jug, red and rustic. To fakes that feel real, she toasted, winking. We clinked jelly jars, the liquid warming bellies, loosening tongues. Stories spilled. Lena's first crush on a debate team girl, heartsick and hidden. My early beats covering pride parades, ink stained with rainbow flags. Alex shared her overdose scare. Pills and despair after a lover's ghosting. How the camera saved her, framing pain into power. The air grew thick, confessional, rain starting patter on the roof like applause. Lena's head on my shoulder, wine loose. Ellie gets it. The hiding, the hunger. Her voice slurred soft, fingers tracing my collarbone. Alex watched, eyes knowing. Careful, loves. Real sneaks up. She stood stretching. Crash here if you want. Loft upstairs. We declined, cab hailing into the night, rain sheeting windshields. Back at the Drake, soaked and laughing, we tumbled into the suite, clothes shedding in a trail to the bedroom. You're mine tonight, Lena whispered, pushing me against the door. Kiss fierce, hands roaming urgent. We fell to sheets, bodies arching in rhythm to thunder rolls, gasps punctuating flashes, her name on my lips like prayer, mine a mantra on hers. Climax shattered us, waves crashing, leaving driftwood of limbs and sighs. Sleep claimed quick, but midnight jerked me awake. Phone vibrating like a hornet. Text. Gallery was intimate. Heard the moans in the cab? Coming for you. Attached. A photo of us leaving, blurry but unmistakable, timestamp 20 minutes ago. Terror iced my spine, bolting upright. Lena stirred. What? She's here. Watching. Voice tremor I showed her. Rain now a roar outside. Her face paled, then steeled. Pack. We're leaving. Now. Panic mode. Bags zipped frantic, clothes damp clinging. Front desk called a car service, not cab, for anonymity. But as we dashed to the elevator, it dinged open, empty, but a chill lingered like eyes in the walls. Down in the lobby, marble cold underfoot, the concierge waved us through, oblivious. The black sedan idled curbside, driver a shadow in a cap. We slid in back, hands clasped white-knuckled, city lights streaking tears on glass. Where to? The driver grunted. Union Station, Lena said, decisive. Red Eye East. The train loomed in my mind, escape redux, but now with her. My ex's shadow stretched long. But Lena's warmth countered, her whisper fierce. We're faster. Rain lashed as we sped, wipers slashing rhythm. Then, headlights in the rearview closing fast. A sedan, dark, aggressive. That's her. I gasped, heart slamming. Lena leaned forward. Floor it. The driver nodded, gunning engine, weaving lanes in a ballet of horns and swerves. Tires squealed, rain hydroplaning, the pursuing car a demon on our tail. My phone rang, unknown. I answered, speaker blaring, her voice venomous. Running again, Ellie? With that dyke bitch? I'll end this. Lena snatched it, voice ice. Back off or I swear. Laughter cut her, chilling. Too late. Click. The chase blurred. Alleys sharp, bridges groaning under speed. Sirens wailed, distant then near. The pursuer fishtailed, slamming a hydrant in a geyser of spray. We careened into the station lot, tumbling out, guards swarming. Police! One barked, cuffing the arriving Rex driver, her wild-eyed, soaked, snarling my name. Relief buckled my knees. Lena caught me, arms steel. Over, she breathed as blue lights pulsed, washing the night red. But as they hauled her away, her glare promised more. Darkness not done falling. Union Station's underbelly hummed with midnight urgency. Fluorescent buzz warring with the storm's dying grumbles outside. We collapsed onto a bench in the waiting area. Soaked to marrow, adrenaline's crash leaving us hollowed. Lena's arm around my shoulders, her blazer a damp shield, while I shivered in her borrowed blouse, fabric clinging like second skin. The air smelled of wet concrete and vending machine pretzels, stale comfort in chaos. You okay? Her voice was raw, thumb brushing rain from my cheek. I nodded, lie thin as the steam rising from grates. She's gone. Locked up. Hope flickered, fragile. Lena checked her phone, texting the detective. Holding for questioning. Assault charges pending. That chase? Reckless endangerment. She pulled me closer, lips to temple. Breathe, Ellie. We got this. The red-eye to New York boarded soon. A silver beast rumbling platforms like impatient growl. We snagged seats in a sleeper car. Miracle of last-minute cash. The compartment narrow, bunked, smelling of fresh linen and faint ozone. As the train lurched east, wheels singing steel song, the city receded, lights smearing to black fields. Undressed in the dim sway, we slipped under covers, bodies fitting puzzle clothes. Her skin fever warm against mine, heartbeat a lullaby. Tell me a story, she murmured, fingers tracing spine tattoos. Old ink from college rebellion, words in script. Write your truth. I wove one soft. A girl in Nebraska plains chasing fireflies in jars, dreaming of cities that didn't bruise. Lena listened, breath evening, but sleep evaded me, mind replaying the chase. Tires screech, her laugh cackle sharp. Hours blurred to dawn, the Hudson teasing gray outside, as Lena stirred, kissing collarbone lazy. Love you in morning light, she whispered, words slipping unbidden. Love. It landed soft, terrifying. Lena. Shoo. Just words. But her eyes said volumes, deep as the river below. New York swallowed us by noon. Penn stations crush a human tide. Hot dog steam and exhaust tang. Lena's apartment was a penthouse in Chelsea. Glass walls framing skyline stabs. The East River a vein pulsing below. Home, she said, key turning, revealing space minimalist. White couches, abstract art splashes, a kitchen gleaming steel. We showered tandem, water cascading hot, hands soaping gentle. Exploring anew, laughs bubbling as shampoo foamed crowns. Lunch was takeout Thai, spicy noodles twining forks, eaten cross-legged on the floor, wine loosening knots. Stay, she said casual but plea-edged. Week? Month? Your stories deserve a city like this. Temptation curled, sweet as curry heat. And us? Fake faded. Us is real. Kiss sealed it, slow burn to bedroom. Afternoon lost in sheets rumpled, gasps echoing off windows. Her body arch, graceful, demanding. Drew moans from me like confessions, peaks crashing in tandem, sweat slicks slide. Evening brought her world. A startup pitch at a Soho loft, investors in hoodies nursing IPAs. I tagged, girlfriend now truth, fielding nods and impressive resumes. Lena shone, demoing her app. Calm algorithms pulsing screen voice passion fire. For the broken, she said, glancing my way. To rebuild. Pride swelled, chest tight. After rooftop bar, stars pricking smog, jazz floating low. We danced close, hips swaying to bass thrum, her breath hot on neck. This could be it, she murmured. You and me, writing code and copy. But my phone, silenced since the arrest, lit up late. Bail posted. Out. Coming for what's mine. Attached, a map pin, her location Chelsea 2 blocks off. Dread coiled, vice gut. I showed Lena over nightcap brandy. Amber glowing like embers. She's free. Fury flashed her eyes. We go to my lawyer. Now. Midnight call to a shark in pearls, voice silk threat. Restraining order expedited. Her assets frozen if she blinks wrong. Sleep fractured, dreams of pursuits endless. Trains looping, her face morphing to Lena's scream silent. Dawn found us packing. Lena's jet to a conference in Boston, me tagging for safety. Hide in plain sight, she said, kissing fierce at the heliport, rotors wumping air thick. Boston blurred. Harbor walks crisp salt, her talks electric. Nights tangled passionate but shadows lurked. Anonymous calls breathing heavy, hang-ups chill. One eve, post-gala, Freedom Trail cobblestones slick underfoot. A figure tailed, hooded, vanishing alley. Paranoia. I whispered, hand in hers tight. Instinct. She hailed cab, but at the hotel front desk slip note. Saw you fly in. Wings clip easy. Panic peaked. Room service untouched, brandy down neat. End this, I begged, pacing carpet worn. Confront? Run forever. Lena pulled me down, straddling lap, hands framing face. Together. Kiss desperate, clothes shed urgent. Bodies claiming, thrusts deep, cries muffled in pillows. Release shattered tension, leaving gasps and tears. I can't lose you, she sobbed post-vulnerability bare. Nor I. Val whispered, but dawn brought flight delay. Storm brewing, Atlantic skies bruise black. Stranded, we wandered Beacon Hill, gas lamps flickering romantic. Tea at a brownstone cafe, scones crumbly with clotted cream. Her stories of childhood winters, snow forts, sister snowball wars. Laughter eased, but exiting she waited. Leaning wall, eyes feral. Time froze. Ellie, she hissed, stepping forward, rain starting spit. Stolen goods. Lena shoved between, voice thunder. Back. Off. But X lunged, nails raking arm, blood welling red. Scream tore me, tackling her down, fists flying wild, rain-soaking fury. Bystanders pulled, sirens wail near. Cops arrived, cuffing her again, assault witnessed, no bail this time. Shaking, bandaged in her sterile white, Lena held my hand. Hero, she teased, but eyes wet. Team. Kiss soft saline sting. Back in Boston, storm broke. Rain lash, thunder crack. Night fell heavy, but in her arms darkness felt defeatable. Yet whispers nagged. How deep did obsession root? As sleep tugged, her phone buzzed, unknown, not over. Family knows now. Lena's family? Mine. Dread renewed, but she silenced it, pulling closer. Tomorrow's ours. The Boston storm raged like a jilted lover. Wind howling gales that rattled hotel panes. Rain sheeting in silver fury. We lay abed that night, bodies entwined post-climax. Sweat cooling to shivers, but peace eluded. Her phone's buzz, a specter that texts a thorn. Family knows. Whose? Hers with their polished judgments? Or mine, fractured kin in Nebraska dust? I didn't press. Lena's breathing even feigned, arm heavy over my waist, but tension hummed like live wire. Dawn crept gray, skies weeping reluctant clear. Flight resumed, jet slicing clouds to LaGuardia. Manhattan's jagged maw below. Cab to Chelsea crawled traffic thick. Horns bleeding frustration. The city a beast sated but stirring. Home, her penthouse, welcomed with takeout pizza, cheese stringy melt. Eaten on the couch, TV droning Netflix thrillers we ignored for kisses lazy deep. But evening fractured. Her mother called, voice clipped as shears. Lena, darling. The incident in Boston? And this. Ellie? Tabloids whisper. Explain. Lena paced glass walls, skyline indifferent witness. It's love, Mom. Real. She's staying. Pause, then steal. Accept or not, but back off. Click. She sank beside me, face buried hands. They'll come around. Or not. But us? Non-negotiable. I pulled her close, lips to crown. Us. Word talisman, but doubt nod. My past a stain, her world crystal. Days blurred domestic. Mornings coffee strong. Her coding at island counter. Me laptop open. Pitching stories to editors hungry. Afternoons wandered. High line paths leaf crunched. Falafel carts spice hot. Evenings theater dim. Her hand mine in dark. Applause thundering hearts. Intimacy deepened. Slow mornings tangled. Her fingers mapping freckles like constellations. Sighs soft as dawn. Nights urgent. Bodies slamming rhythm to city pulse. Cries echoing off beams. One eve post-opera, Carmen passion stabbed. We dined candlelit in Little Italy, pasta twirl fork, wine ruby deep. Future? She asked, eyes gleaming Chianti. You, me, maybe a cabin upstate? Right code, no ghosts. Heart swelled but phone vibrated, mine editor. Story greenlit. Your escape, anonymous but raw. Exposure thrilled, terrified. Truth ink but scars bared. Back home buzz again, Alex. Sis mom's melting down. Scandal she calls it. But dad? Quiet support. Bring Ellie for dinner. Show him. Lena laughed, relief flood. Thank God. But as we prepped, me in sheath dress simple black, Her suit tailored sharp, nerves jittered. Upper East Side brownstone loomed. Doorman gnawed stiff, foyer crystal choked. Dinner was theater. Mrs. Vasquez cool pearls serving salmon poached perfection, wine poured precise. Mr. Vasquez gruff warm, questions probing gentle. Journalist, eh? Like my youth, Chicago Tribune beat reporter. Stories flowed. His scoop scandalous, my bylines bold. Alex winked across table, foot nudge under linen. But midway Mrs. Vasquez cornered kitchen ward. Lena's fragile, you know. After her. Phase in college. Phase. Code for outed love, heartbreak hidden. Don't break her. Words stung but I met eyes steady. Never intentional. But love? It breaks to mend. She softened fraction. Dinner thawed. Laughs over tiramisu dust sugar. Toasts to new chapters. Walking out arm in arm Lena whispered. You slayed. High on acceptance we tumbled penthouse ward. Cab kiss heated. Home devolving to frenzy. Clothes strewn kitchen counter claim. Her back arched against cabinets rattle. Moans mingling garlic ghost. Peak shattered dishes clink. Leaving us gasp laugh. Floor sprawled. Bliss peaked but crashed next dawn. Knock insistent. Delivery. No cops badges flash. Ellie Harper? Warrant. Your ex knew evidence. Threats escalated. Stomach dropped. They cuffed gentle but steel bit wrists cold. Lena pale, protesting. Mistake. Station ride blurred, sirens wailmorn, holding cell concrete chill. Air ranked bleach. Hours ticked. Lawyer swooped Lena's shark, shredding paperwork. Coerced statement. Her obsession, not yours. Released by dusk but damage seeped. Headlines buzzed low. Tech heiress's lover in custody drama. Paparazzi swarmed building, flashes blind, questions stab. Fake relationship? Stalker angle. Lena shielded, armbar, voice roar. Back off. Inside collapsed sofa sink, tears hot. This city's devouring us. Run. I whispered but she shook head. Fight. Call to publicist, spin crafted. Couple stands strong against harassment. But isolation crept. Friends distant, whispers venom. Weekend escape. Upstate cabin, her family's Adirondacks retreat. Lake Mirror still, pines whisper wind. Drive wound, leaf gold, radio folkstrum. Hands lace gear shift. Cabin rustic. Stone hearth, quilts patch faded, air pine crisp. Unpacked light, fire crackle spit. Stew simmer savory. Evening, porch swing creak, stars prick velvet. Her head shoulder rest. Hear no noise. Kiss slow, firefly glow leading inside. Rug before flames, body's slow worship. Touches featherlight, sighs blend crackle. Love making languid. Peaks gentle wave, afterglow embers. But night deepened, phone signal faint, buzz insistent. Text. Cabin cozy? Woods hide screams. Attached. Photo porch, a silhouetted timestamp hour old. Terror surged, fire forgotten. She's here. Lena bolted up, grabbing keys, flashlight beam cut dark, woods encroaching black. Stay inside. No. Rifle from closet, hunting relic, her dad's loaded, click chill. We ventured, porch beam sweep. Leaves rustle, branch snap. Heart thunder, her hand mine slick palm. Figure emerged, her ex eyes glint wild, knife flash moon. Ellie. Lunge feral. Chaos. Lena fired warning, crack echo, birds erupt. Ex dodged, tackling me down, needles pine, fists rain. I fought, nails rake, scream raw. Lena charged, wrenching free, knife skitter dirt. Wrestle brutal, rolls mud slick, breaths rasp until Lena pinned knee throat. Enough. Sirens wail distant, neighbor called shot. Cops hauled her, broken now, arm twisted, spirit? Shattered. Psyche Val. They muttered, cruiser taillights fade red. Back inside, bruised bleeding, fire rebuilt, we clung, sobs rack. Her I'm sorry mantra. My you saved refrain. Dawn broke, blood orange, lake steam mist, but darkness? It fell heavy that night, but broke with light. The Adirondacks dawn filtered through cabin pines like hesitant forgiveness. golden shafts piercing mists that clung lakeward like reluctant ghosts. We woke on the rug before dying embers, bodies ache-mapped from night's fray, bruises blooming purple on ribs, scratches stinging antiseptic sharp. Lena stirred first, wincing as she sat, bandaging Kit open beside, her hand steady rewrapping my forearm gash, gauze whisper soft. "Beautiful warrior," she murmured, kissed to knuckles raw. Coffee perked tinny, black and bitter, sipped on porch swing creek weary, the lake now a mirror cracked by wind ripples. Sirens echo faded memory, cops report filed. Ex committed, psych hold indefinite. Knife possession, attempted assault obsession's endgame. Relief wash tentative like the mist burning off, but scars lingered invisible knots. "Home?" I asked, mug-warm palms, her thigh pressed mine reassuring. She nodded, eyes horizon deep. "But first, this." Stood, pulling me up, Walt stepped silly on warped boards, laughter bubbling absurd. Twirls clumsy, dips exaggerated, ending in kiss salt tear. We survived. Drive back south unwound slow, windows crack breeze brisk. Radio scanning static to Springsteen growl, Thunder Road, fitting anthem escape. Stops impulsive. Roadside diner grease drip, pancake stack high drowned syrup. Orchard pick apples crisp bite, juice chin sticky. Her hand mine gear shift. Fingers interlace permanent. Manhattan reclaimed us duskward, skyline stab silver against bruised sky, penthouse lights auto warm, unpack light, laundry whirl wounds tangential, then dinner improv. Pasta boil sauce simmer tomato garlic, eaten candle flicker forks clink soft. Future pitch, Lena said, twirl spaghetti eyes gleam. You write book our story anonymized fierce. I option film rights. Netflix deal baby. Laugh escape genuine bubble. Hollywood Ellie? Sign me up. But under jest thrill genuine words weapon reclaim narrative. Nights healed rhythm. Mornings tangled lazy her lips trail neck wake slow, sighs blend coffee perk. Afternoons work sync her code tap mine key clack. Breaks for kisses stolen desk lean. Evenings out bold, pride flags still strung village. Bar hops with Alex, shots tequila burn, dances floor sweat, bodies press unapologetic. Family mended gradual. Vasquez dinner redux brownstone thoughtful. Mrs. Vasquez hug tentative, then tight whisper welcome. Mr. Vasquez tails old arm clap proud. Alex grilled good-natured. Don't fuck it up, toast wink. But climax brewed subtle my editor pushed. Deep in the piece. Your lover's angle. I resisted but truth pulled. Night's journal fever pages fill raw. Trains whistle morn kisses spark electric, darkness chase throb. Lena read drafts eyes wet shine. Publish. Heal public. Launch eve reading at indie bookstore East Village. Crowd hush thick, women mostly faces echo mine. Bruised bold. Voice tremor start, then steady words pour. Escapes grit, love's forge obsessions shatter. Applause thunder tears track Lena front row gaze anchor. After, book party loft cram champagne fizz overflow, hugs crush. But peak private. Rooftop escape city sprawl jewel box below her pull close. Proud, she breathed ring box snap open, simple band twist gold engraved inside. Real tracks forever. Kneel? No equal her hand mine questioned soft. Marry the mess? Tears blur yes choke laugh. Kiss seal fireworks burst distant. Actual Empire State glow world celebrate. Months montage. Wedding small Central Park autumn leaf vows wind whisper. Alex officiate grin families mingle heal. Vows mine. From fake to flame you lit dark. Hers. Coded my heart yours. Honeymoon train. Amtrak luxury. Sleeper sway to Montreal. Days bed bliss. Night's bistro candle maple sweet. Back life weave. My book bestseller hum tours city hop. Her app boom features calm crisis donations shelters poor. 1 year mark anniversary diner grease nostalgic. Booth vinyl crack. Burgers drip juicy. Darkness fell. I toast eyes hers hold. But we rose. She clinks bottleneck smile sun. And keep rising.